Blender, a very powerful open source tool that you can use to create 3D models, animations, movies, etc. just by torturing the cube. The problem is that getting good at 3D modeling usually takes hundreds of hours, and since I'm unemployed and probably have some mental issues, instead of getting a job, I decided to learn Blender. So the day started and I'm obviously so happy to wake up thinking about the suffering that awaits me. My main goal was to learn enough Blender to make game assets that don't look like shit. So I opened Blender and the software has so many tabs and toolbars and I have absolutely no freaking idea what any of this shit does. But somehow I figured out how to move the camera around and that's it. By the way, I tried to learn 3D modeling 1 year ago and spent around 6 hours in Blender just to create these masterpieces. I know it looks so impressive, but as you can see, I remember absolutely nothing. So it's time to watch some tutorials. How to Blender. Shift plus A, and I can create balls. Impressive. But then my boyfriend suggested modeling something together in Blender. Also, he told me to install this free add-on to make texturing easier. I'll leave a link in the description below. And with his help, I managed to create this Femboy milk potion in 1 hour somehow. Anyway, it looks good, at least better than this shit. The next day I watched another tutorial just to recall the information I had learned. After that, with all the knowledge I got from my boyfriend and tutorials, I tried to create a low poly axe. And I created this piece of shit in 30 minutes. After that, I was going to watch Every Beginner's Nightmare, the donut tutorial. But then I changed my mind, like, okay, everyone says it's really good and well-made tutorial for beginners, but I want to make game assets, and some features shown in this video playlist I probably won't even use. So I skipped it and searched for tutorials about creating low-poly game assets. I found this really good playlist about how to create a bell. What I really love about this tutorial is that this man gives you the opportunity to create some parts by yourself. So you can actually use your brain and think about how to create this or that part. Then he explained how he did it. In my opinion, this really helps you remember information better when you're not blindly following the tutorial. Actually, I really enjoyed the modeling process and it was so fun, even though I had some troubles. So I continued watching this video playlist and after 6 hours of continuous work, I made this beautiful Val. I was so freaking happy with the result until I realized there was one more thing left to do, texturing, which I decided to do the next day. Good morning! It had been more than 2 weeks since I opened Blender last time. I completely forgot about the software, but hey, I came back and did texturing time. It was going pretty smoothly and actually I didn't have any problems until... What the fuck is wrong with this time? I spent around 2 hours crying and trying to figure it out just to find out that I had accidentally made copies of them and that's why it wasn't working properly. Oh my goodness. Holy shit, I made it. Oh my god. So after 8 hours of suffering, I finally made this bell. Actually, I'm pretty proud of myself, but at the same time, I hate my life. I used Pinterest to find some inspiration, so these are the pictures I relied on. I started by creating the handle using a cylinder. Actually, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was relying on my professionalism. So I extruded there, cut here, scaled faces there, and it actually turned out pretty good. Then I started making the axe head. Easy. And this is the result for now. Definitely better than the previous version, but it still looks like boring shit. That's better. I ended up adding spikes on the handle because spikes always make everything cool as fuck. After that, I added spike in the center. I wanted to create a double bead axe, and in my brain came a beautiful idea to create a smaller blade on the other side. Finally, the victim was ready for texturing, until I realized that the handle was a single object, and I needed to color it in different colors. So how do I do that? I already prepared myself for some scary, terrible, disgusting manipulation, but it turned out to be easier than I thought. You just have to create a new material and assign it to faces you need. I switched to render mode and something was wrong. I just couldn't tell what. I spent another 30 minutes trying to fix this problem. Well, it's not that bad, I guess. So, in the end, I have 3 finished projects: Potion, Well, and Dax. In my opinion, it's a pretty good result, and I definitely learned a lot. Will I continue learning Blender? Maybe. Probably not. I'm not sure, but at least now I know some basics and I can easily create something simple.